June Kim stared out the window of his office at the glittering spires of New Seoul. The year was 2150, and the city had changed so much since his childhood. The most obvious changes were the alien buildings that now stood among the human ones. 30 years had passed since humans made first contact with the Galactic Coalition. June sighed and turned back to his desk. At 62, he had hoped to slow down by now. His hair had gone gray long ago, and the lines on his face told the story of a man who had seen too many political battles. For 20 years, he had been a top strategist for the Republic Party. Now he worked as a consultant, helping humans and aliens understand each other's politics. The door chimed and June called out, "Enter." His assistant, a young man named Do-hyun, stepped inside. "Sir, there's someone here to see you. She doesn't have an appointment, but she says it's urgent." June frowned. He didn't like surprises. "Who is it?" "Hana Park, from the Coalition Moderate Council." June raised his eyebrows. The Coalition Moderate Council was an important group in alien politics. They worked to balance the different interests of the many alien species. "Send her in," he said, straightening his tie. Hana Park entered the room with purpose. She was in her 40s with short black hair and the confident walk of someone used to being in charge. Coalition pins decorated her jacket, showing she worked with aliens. "Mr. Kim, thank you for seeing me without notice," she said, offering her hand. June shook it and gestured to a chair. "What brings the Coalition's human liaison to my door, Ms. Park?" Hana sat down and placed a small device on the desk. It lit up, creating a privacy field around them. Standard procedure when discussing sensitive matters. "I need your expertise," she said. "You're the best at understanding political alliances and how they can go wrong." "I'm retired from party politics," June said. "This isn't about Earth politics, at least not directly." Hana touched the device on the desk and a hologram appeared between them. It showed a human man in his 30s with confident eyes and an easy smile. Next to him was an alien, tall with silvery skin and 4 eyes arranged vertically on its face. June recognized both figures. Suho Lee and Tai Yang of the Orbital Dominion. "Yes," Hana said, her face serious. "They formed an alliance that has the Coalition worried." June studied the images. Suho Lee was one of the richest humans alive. His company, Quantum Horizon, built massive factories in orbit around Earth and Mars. They made everything from spaceships to the neural implants many humans now used. The man had more money than some countries. Tai Yang was different. He led the Orbital Dominion, one of the more aggressive alien groups in the Coalition. They controlled 12 star systems and were always pushing for more power. "What kind of alliance?" June asked. "Suho is providing Tai Yang with advanced AI systems and drone technology. In return, Tai Yang is giving Quantum Horizon access to resources on Dominion planets." June leaned back in his chair. "That's concerning. But why come to me? This sounds like a job for diplomats or military analysts." Hana shook her head. "We have those experts already working on this. What we need is someone who understands the psychology of these kinds of alliances. Someone who can explain why they're dangerous and how they might fall apart." She leaned forward. "The Coalition species don't understand human politics very well. Many of them lived under single governments for thousands of years before joining the Coalition. The idea of opposing parties working together in one system is strange to them." "And you think I can help explain it?" June asked. "I know you can. You wrote the book on political alliances during your time with the Republic Party. Your analysis of how partnerships between different power centers can become unstable is required reading in diplomatic circles." June couldn't help but feel a small spark of pride. He had worked hard on that paper. Still, he hesitated. "There's more to this, isn't there?" he asked. Hana nodded slowly. "Suho Lee isn't just providing technology. He's building something big in Dominion space. We don't know what it is, but his ships have been moving materials there for months." She touched the device again and new images appeared. Massive construction projects in orbit around alien worlds. Factories even bigger than the ones Suho had built around Earth. "Whatever he's building, it's huge," Hana said. "And Tai Yang is protecting it with Dominion warships." June studied the images with growing concern. Suho has always been ambitious, but this, he shook his head. This is something else. Will you help us understand what's happening here? Hana asked. The coalition needs to know how dangerous this alliance might be. June was quiet for a long moment. He had promised himself he was done with high-stakes politics. His health wasn't what it used to be, and he had hoped to spend his remaining years teaching and writing. But as he looked at the images floating before him, he felt the old fire returning. This wasn't just Earth politics anymore. This was about humanity's place in the galaxy. When I was younger, June said slowly, I studied historical alliances between technology leaders and political figures. They rarely end well. He looked up at Hana. The tech visionaries think they can control politicians, and the politicians think they can harness the power of technology for their own ends. Both are usually wrong. That's exactly the kind of insight we need, Hana said eagerly. June stood up and walked to the window again. Outside, human and alien ships moved through the sky like fish in a cosmic sea. 30 years ago, humans had been alone in the universe. Now they were just one species among hundreds in the Galactic Coalition. Suho Lee thinks he's smarter than everyone else, June said, still looking out the window. That's what makes him dangerous. He believes he can control Taeyang, use him to expand his business empire beyond Earth. But Taeyang is playing his own game. He turned back to Hana. I'll help you, but I need access to all the information you have on this alliance. Hana smiled with relief. You'll have everything we know. As she gathered her things to leave, June asked, one more question. Why did you really come to me? There are other political analysts you could have chosen. Hana paused at the door. Because you've seen this before, she said quietly. On Earth. You know how dangerous it is when technology and power mix without accountability. After she left, June sat at his desk for a long time thinking about what he had agreed to do. Suho Lee was not a man to cross lightly, and Taeyang was even more dangerous. But someone needed to explain why this alliance threatened both humans and aliens. Someone needed to make the coalition understand before it was too late. With a sigh, June turned on his computer and began to work. 3 days had passed since Hana Park's visit. June Kim sat in a large meeting room at the Coalition Embassy. Around him sat 6 aliens from different species and 3 humans. The walls displayed images and data about Suho Lee and Taeyang. Let me be clear, June said, pointing to the timeline on the wall. This alliance didn't happen overnight. Suho has been planning this for at least 5 years. A tall, blue-skinned alien named Real Core leaned forward. But why would a human business leader want to work with the Dominion? They are known for strict control and harsh rules. June nodded. This was the heart of the problem. Many coalition species couldn't understand why someone like Suho would choose such a partner. To explain this, we need to look at Earth's history, June said. He tapped his tablet, and new images appeared on the wall. Old photographs from the early 21st century, about 130 years ago, Earth went through a period of political change. Technology leaders gained more power than ever before. Some of them formed alliances with political figures. The aliens studied the images with their various eyes and sensing organs. The humans in the room looked uncomfortable. Earth's political history wasn't always something they liked to discuss with aliens. I've studied one alliance in particular, June continued. It shows us why Suho's partnership with Taeyang is so dangerous. He expanded one of the images. This technology leader believed he could use his wealth and his communication platforms to influence politics. The political leader believed he could use the tech leader's resources and fan base to increase his power. Hana Park spoke up. And what happened? At first, they helped each other. But over time, the tech leader became a problem for the political leader. He was too unpredictable. He said things without thinking. He made promises he couldn't keep. June stood up and walked closer to the display. The tech leader thought politics was simple, like programming or engineering. He didn't understand that it's about people, about compromise, about patience. One of the aliens, a small creature with 6 limbs named Vextal, made a sound like bells ringing. The translator converted it to words. You believe Suho Lee sees Taeyang as a tool for his ambitions? Yes, June said firmly. And Taeyang sees Suho the same way. Each thinks they can use the other. He brought up new images. The construction, projects in Dominion space. Suho is building something massive here. Our analysts think it's a new kind of AI system much bigger than anything on Earth. The room went quiet. Everyone knew what that meant. Earth had strict rules about AI development. After some dangerous incidents in the early 22nd century, Suho couldn't build this on Earth or any coalition core world, June explained. But in Dominion space under Taeyang's protection, he can ignore those rules. Hana Park looked troubled. What does Taeyang get from this? June brought up more data, access to technology that would normally be restricted to the Dominion, and something else. He paused, making sure everyone was paying attention. Control systems. He showed images of small flying drones. These are being deployed across Dominion worlds. Suho calls them public safety systems, but they're really tools for watching and controlling people. Rilkor's blue skin darkened, with concern. This is forbidden by coalition law. Which is why they're keeping it secret, June said. But there's more. He connected to the room's secure system and played a recording. It showed Suho Lee speaking to a group of his employees. The coalition species don't understand efficiency, Suho was saying in the recording. Their governments are slow, wasteful. With our AI systems, we can help them make better decisions. Eventually, they'll see that our way is better. June stopped. The recording. This was taken 3 months ago. Suho believes he's helping the aliens by giving them human technology, but he's really just helping Taeyang tighten his control. The small alien, Vextal, spoke again. You said this happened before on Earth? What was the result? June took a deep breath. Chaos. The tech leader's unpredictable behavior caused problems for the political leader. Their alliance damaged both of them in the end. But not before they hurt many people. He turned to face the whole group. Tech leaders often have 3 qualities that make them dangerous political allies. First, they have too much power without enough accountability. Second, they think technical solutions can fix social problems. And third, they often act on impulse without considering all consequences. The room was silent as everyone thought about what June had said. Finally, Hana spoke. We need to make a record of this analysis for the full Coalition Council. June nodded. I'll prepare a formal presentation. After the meeting ended, most of the group left. Only Hana stayed behind with June. There's something you didn't say, in there? She said quietly. June looked at her. What do you mean? You know more about the historical alliance you mentioned. Something that worries you even more than what you shared. June smiled sadly. He shouldn't be surprised that Hana could read him so well. They had worked together before, years ago. The tech leader I mentioned, he said softly. He didn't just cause problems. He eventually gave the political leader tools that threatened democracy itself. Voting systems, information control, ways to track opponents. Hana's eyes widened. You think Suho will do the same for Taeyang? I think he already has. June brought up one last image on the wall display. It showed a massive orbital structure being built around one of the Dominion homeworlds. Our sources say this is a new AI governance system. It will collect data on everything happening on the planet below and make suggestions for government decisions. That's not just control, Hana whispered. That's replacing government with machines. June nodded. Suho thinks he's creating a perfect system. He doesn't understand that he's just giving Taeyang a more powerful tool for oppression. He turned off the display. The most dangerous thing about Suho isn't that he's evil. It's that he truly believes he's doing good. He thinks his technology will solve all problems if people just follow his vision. Hana was quiet for a moment, then she said, We need to do more than just analyze this. We need to stop it. That's not my job, June said. I'm just a consultant. Hana gave him a look. He knew well from their past work together. It was the look that said she wasn't taking no for an answer. You're more than that, June. You understand what's happening better than anyone. We need your help to form an opposition. June wanted to refuse. He was too old for this kind of fight. But as he looked at the now blank wall where the images had been, he knew he couldn't walk away. I'll make some calls, he said. There are people who should know about this, people who can help. As they left the room, June couldn't help but think about how history was repeating itself. Once again, technology and power were coming together in a dangerous mix. And once again, someone needed to stand up and explain why it was so dangerous. This time, that someone was him. June Kim's office had become a command center. 1 week after his presentation to the coalition representatives, his quiet consultant life was over. Now, his large desk was covered with tablets and screens. The walls displayed news from across the galaxy. Are you sure this will work? Asked Min Lee, a former military officer who now advised the Earth Defense Force. She was tall and strong, with short gray hair and a serious face. She pointed to the plan on the main screen. No, June admitted, but it's our best option. The door opened and Hannah Park entered with another person. The new arrival was a woman in her 30s with round glasses and quick, intelligent eyes. This is Ji-won Choi, Hannah said. The technology ethicist I told you about. Ji-won bowed slightly to June and Min. I've studied Suho's systems for years. What he's building in Dominion space is even more dangerous than you think. June gestured for her to continue. Ji-won connected her tablet to the room's display. Suho's new AI doesn't just watch and suggest, it learns and adapts. If it's connected to Dominion security systems, it could control everything from food distribution to air quality in their cities. Total control, Min said grimly. Exactly, Ji-won nodded. And the Dominion people won't even know it's happening. The system will make small changes that seem helpful at first. June walked to the window thinking. Outside, New Seoul was busy, as always. Humans and aliens walked together on the streets below. Ships flew between the tall buildings. We need to focus on their weaknesses, he said finally. Every alliance has weak points. He turned back to the room. Suho's weakness is his ego. He thinks he's the smartest person in any room. He can't help but talk about his plans. And Tae-yang? Hannah asked. He fears losing control, June said. He will turn on Suho if he thinks Suho is becoming too powerful or too independent. Min Lee nodded slowly. So we need to drive a wedge between them. Yes, June agreed. And I think I know how. Over the next 3 days, June and his team worked with coalition moderates to build their plan. They gathered data, made contacts, and prepared their strategy. On the 4th day, they met with Earth's ambassador to the coalition, a serious woman named Yuna Song. What you're proposing is risky, Ambassador Song said after hearing their plan. If it fails, Earth could face problems with the Dominion. If we do nothing, the whole coalition could face something much worse, June replied. Tae-yang with control of Suho's AI could upset the balance of power in the galaxy. The ambassador was quiet for a long moment. Then she nodded. I'll speak with the United Earth government, but I can't promise anything. After she left, Min Lee looked worried. We need Earth support. We'll get it, June said with more confidence than he felt. Meanwhile, we moved forward with the first part of the plan. The next day, news channels across the galaxy played a recording of Suho Lee speaking at what he thought was a private dinner. In the recording, he talked freely about coalition species. The Vexians are too slow to make decisions, Suho said in the recording. They could learn from humans. And the Rilkorians? Their technology is at least 50 years behind ours. It's almost funny. The recording continued with Suho making more comments about different alien species. None of it was openly hostile, but it showed a clear belief that humans were better than aliens. The reaction was immediate. Coalition news was filled with angry responses from different species. Some called for Suho to be banned from coalition space. Tae-yang quickly released a statement supporting Suho. His words were taken out of context, the statement said. The Dominion stands with Quantum Horizon and its visionary leader. But sources inside the Dominion government told a different story. They said Tai Yang was privately furious. He had not known about Suho's views of aliens, and he worried about how it would affect his standing in the coalition. 2 days later, Suho made things worse. Instead of apologizing, he sent his security drones to protect Quantum Horizon facilities in coalition space. The sight of armed drones flying over alien cities caused even more anger. "It's working," Hana told June as they watched the news in his office. "The alliance is already showing cracks." But their victory was short-lived. That evening, all communication with 3 coalition planets near Dominion space suddenly stopped. "What's happening?" Joan asked as his team gathered emergency reports. Jiwon's face was pale as she looked up from her tablet. "Suho's system has taken control of those planets' communication networks. He's calling it a security precaution after protests against Quantum Horizon." "This is worse than we expected," Min said. "He's not just talking now, he's acting." June felt a cold fear in his stomach. "We need to move faster. Has Ambassador Song heard back from Earth?" As if in answer, Hana's tablet chimed with an incoming message. She read it quickly, her eyes growing wide. "The United Earth government has agreed to support us," she said. "They're sending representatives to the Emergency Coalition Council meeting tomorrow." "That's good news," June said. "But we need more than just words now." He turned to Jiwon. "Can you get us data on exactly what Suho's system is doing on those 3 planets? She nodded. "I have contacts who can help, but it will be dangerous for them." "Tell them to be careful," June said, "but we need that information." As night fell over New Seoul, June stood alone on the balcony of his apartment. The city lights glowed below him, peaceful and beautiful. But he knew that peace was now in danger. His communication device buzzed. It was a message from Hana. "Emergency. Come to the embassy now." 20 minutes later, June rushed into the Coalition Embassy's main control room. Screens showed chaos on one of the affected planets. People were in the streets, facing off against security drones. "What happened?" June asked. Min Lee pointed to the main screen. "Suho activated the full security protocol. The drones are enforcing a curfew. Anyone outside is being detained." On the screen, a drone grabbed an alien child who had wandered away from its parent. The parent tried to intervene and was knocked to the ground. "This is going too far," Hana said, her voice shaking with anger. June watched the scenes of confusion and fear. This was exactly what he had warned about in his presentation. Technology in the wrong hands. Power without accountability. "We need to show this to everyone," he said. "The whole galaxy needs to see what's happening." He turned to his team. "Tomorrow, at the council meeting, we don't just talk. We show them this. And then we present our plan to stop it." As they worked through the night to prepare, June couldn't help but think about Earth's history. Humans had made these mistakes before. They had seen technology used to control and oppress. Now it was happening again. But this time, humans had a chance to stop it before it was too late. And June Kim, who had spent his life studying political power, now found himself fighting against its worst abuse. The Coalition Council chamber was packed. Representatives from over 100 species sat in the curved rows of seats. In the center stood a round platform where speakers could address the council. June Kim adjusted his formal suit as he waited. With Hana Park and Ambassador Unisong, his heart beat fast in his chest. In a few minutes, he would speak to the most powerful gathering in the galaxy. "The Dominion representatives are here," Hana whispered, pointing to a group entering the chamber. "But I don't see Tai Yang." "He sent his second-in-command instead," Ambassador Song said. "He doesn't want to face this directly." A soft tone sounded, and the council leader, a tall being with golden scales, raised all 4 of their hands for quiet. "This emergency session will now begin," the leader announced. "We are here to discuss the events on the planets of Vex 3, Rilcor Prime, and Tanix." The leader gestured to the center platform. "First, we will hear from Suho Lee of Quantum Horizon, who has requested to speak." Suho walked confidently to the platform. He wore a simple black suit that probably cost more than most people earned in a year. His face showed no worry or doubt. "Honored representatives," he began, his voice smooth and calm. "What you've seen on those 3 planets is unfortunate but necessary. There were violent protests against my company's facilities. My security systems acted to protect lives and property." He smiled, looking around the chamber. "But today, I'm not here to talk about the past. I'm here to offer the future." A hologram appeared above the platform, showing a beautiful image of a planet with perfect cities and happy people. "I call it the Harmony Protocol," Suho continued. "An AI governance system that will help all coalition species live better lives. It will make fair decisions based on data, not politics or personal gain." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Some representatives looked interested, others worried. 3 planets have already experienced the first phase," Suho said. "And now, with the support of the Dominion, I offer this gift to all coalition worlds." June looked at Hana and Ambassador Song. This was worse than they had expected. Suho wasn't just defending his actions, he was expanding them. "We need to move now," June whispered. Ambassador Song nodded and pressed a button on her tablet. A moment later, the council leader spoke again. "We will now hear from Earth's representatives." Suho looked surprised as he left the platform. He had not expected anyone to speak after him. June walked to the platform with Ambassador Song. His legs felt heavy, but his mind was clear. This might be the most important speech of his life. "Honored representatives of the coalition," he began. "My name is June Kim. I am not a government official or a diplomat. I am a political analyst who has studied power and its dangers for over 40 years. He looked around the chamber, making eye contact with as many alien representatives as possible. "What you just heard sounds good. A perfect system that makes perfect decisions. But there is no such thing. What Suho Lee is really offering is control. His control over your worlds." June nodded to Hana, who sent data to the chamber's display system. Screens around the room showed what was really happening on the 3 affected planets. Drones forcing people into their homes. Communication systems shut down. Leaders who opposed the changes being arrested. "This is not harmony," June said. "This is oppression using technology." The chamber erupted in angry shouts. The Dominion representatives stood up, yelling that the images were fake. Other species demanded action against Suho and the Dominion. The council leader called for order, their golden scales flashing in the light as they raised all 4 hands. When the room was quiet again, June continued. "Humans have seen this before. In our history, we learned hard lessons about technology and power. We made terrible mistakes. That is why Earth now has strict laws about AI and its uses." He looked directly at the Dominion representatives. Suho Lee went to the Dominion because he couldn't build his system under Earth's laws. He found a leader who wanted more power and offered him the tools to get it. The chamber was completely silent now. Every eye was on June. But Earth will not stand by and watch this happen again. Not here. Not to our friends in the galaxy. Ambassador Song stepped forward. "The United Earth government has made its decision. All Quantum Horizon licenses and patents are revoked, effective immediately. Suho Lee no longer has legal authority to operate his company or its technology." Gasps and whispers filled the room. This was a drastic move. Quantum Horizon was one of Earth's largest companies. Suho jumped to his feet. "You can't do that. My company has rights." "With rights come responsibilities," Ambassador Song replied calmly. "You have broken our most important laws about AI development and use." Suho's face turned red with anger. "This changes nothing. My facilities in Dominion space are protected. Your laws don't reach there." June smiled slightly. "That's where you're wrong." On cue, the large screens in the chamber changed to show a new image. Earth military ships were moving into position around the orbital facilities that Suho had built in Dominion space. "The Earth Defense Force has been sent to disable all Quantum Horizon facilities that violate our AI laws," June explained. "This action has been approved by the Coalition Security Council under the Technology Control Treaty that Earth signed when we joined the Coalition. The Dominion representatives were on their feet again, shouting about invasion and sovereignty, but many other species were nodding in agreement with Earth's actions. Humanity may be new to the galaxy, June said when he could be heard again, but we bring with us hard-won wisdom. We know the dangers of letting technology control people rather than serve them. He looked around the chamber one last time. We joined the coalition as equals, not to rule over others. And we will not allow a human to use technology to oppress any species, anywhere in the galaxy. As he finished speaking, the screen showed Earth ships using targeted energy weapons to disable the orbital facilities. They didn't destroy them, they simply turned them off. At the same moment across coalition space, the security drones on the 3 affected planets suddenly stopped working. They hovered in place, then gently lowered to the ground. Suho stared at the screens in shock. This is theft. Those are my facilities. No, Ambassador Song said firmly. Those are illegal weapons platforms, and Earth is taking responsibility for the actions of its citizen. The council leader called for an immediate vote. Within minutes, the coalition had officially condemned Suho's actions and supported Earth's intervention. As the vote results appeared, something unexpected happened. The Dominion representatives stood up and their leader spoke. The Orbital Dominion wishes to clarify that Suho Lee acted without our full knowledge. His claims of our support were exaggerated. Taeyang has ordered all cooperation with Quantum Horizon to cease immediately. June wasn't surprised. Just as he had predicted, Taeyang had abandoned Suho the moment things went wrong. As they left the council chamber, Hana touched June's arm. You did it. June shook his head. No, humanity did it. We remembered our mistakes and decided not to repeat them. For the first time in weeks, June felt the weight lift from his shoulders. There would be more work to do, more problems to solve. But today, humanity had shown the galaxy that they had learned from their past, and that was something to be proud of. 3 months had passed since the dramatic events at the Coalition Council. June Kim stood on the observation deck of Harmony Station, a neutral meeting place between Earth and Coalition space. Through the large windows, he could see stars and distant planets. Beautiful view, isn't it? Said a voice behind him. June turned to see Hana Park walking toward him. She looked different today, more relaxed, wearing civilian clothes instead of her usual formal attire. I was starting to think you wouldn't come, June said with a smile. Sorry I'm late. The new Oversight Committee meeting ran longer than expected. They stood side by side, looking out at the stars. After a moment, Hana spoke again. Have you heard the news about Suho? June nodded. House arrest on his estate outside New Seoul. His company broken up and sold to smaller firms. It could have been worse. Some people think it should have been worse, Hana said. He almost caused an interstellar incident. True, June agreed. But in the end, it wasn't just about punishing him. It was about making sure no one could do the same thing again. They walked to a small cafe on the station and ordered drinks. The cafe was filled with humans and aliens, all talking and working together. It was a hopeful sight after the tension of recent months. What about Taeyang? June asked as they sat down. My sources in the Dominion have gone quiet. Hana sipped her drink before answering. He's still in power, but much weaker now. The moderate faction in the Dominion forced him to accept new limits on his authority. He can't make major decisions without their approval. That's more than I expected, June admitted. I thought he would find a way to keep his power. The other Dominion leaders saw what happened with Suho and got scared. They don't want Earth to come after them next. June laughed. Is that what they think? That Earth is now the galaxy's police? Some do, Hana said seriously. But others understand what really happened. They see that Earth stopped one of its own from misusing technology. They respect that. Their conversation was interrupted when June's tablet beeped with a news alert. He read it quickly, then showed it to Hana. The Coalition has approved the new Technology Ethics Treaty, he said. Every member world will have to follow the same rules about AI development that Earth does. Hana smiled. Your work made that possible. Your speech to the council changed how many species view humans. June shook his head. I just explained what was happening. The Earth Defense Force did the hard part. Don't be modest. You helped the Coalition understand why the alliance between Suho and Tai Yang was so dangerous. You showed them the patterns from Earth's history. June looked around the cafe at the mixed groups of humans and aliens. For 30 years, humans had been the new kids in the galactic community. They had amazing technology, but were still learning how to fit in with older, more established species. Something changed after the crisis, he said thoughtfully. The way aliens look at humans. Hana nodded. Before they saw us as clever builders with fancy toys. Now they see us as wise in a way. They respect our political understanding as much as our technology. That's a heavy responsibility, June said. It is. But if anyone can handle it, humans can. They finished their drinks and walked toward the station's main hall, where a new exhibition was opening. It showed the history of governance across different coalition species. Earth has a large section in the exhibition, Hana said. They've included your analysis of political alliances. It's required reading for all coalition diplomatic students now. June felt a strange mix of pride and humility. As they entered the hall, several aliens nodded respectfully to them. One, a young Rilkorian, actually approached June. Professor Kim, the alien said in perfect Korean, your work saved my homeworld, thank you. After the Rilkorian left, June and Hana continued through the exhibition. They stopped at a display showing Suho's security drones, but instead of patrolling cities, the images showed the drones being used for something new. What's this? June asked, reading the caption. After Earth disabled Suho's control systems, Coalition engineers reprogrammed the drones, Hana explained. Now they help with disaster relief and exploration. Same technology, better purpose. June smiled. That's what I hoped would happen. They walked to the end of the hall, where a large window looked out on a construction project. Robots and workers from many species were building a new addition to the station. That will be the headquarters for the new interspecies technology. Oversight committee, Hana said. They want you to be an advisor. June raised his eyebrows in surprise. Me? I'm retired, remember? So you keep saying, Hana laughed. But no one believes it anymore. As they watched the construction, June thought about the strange path his life had taken. From party strategist to interspecies consultant, to someone who had helped stop a galactic crisis. Do you think we've really learned from this? He asked, quietly. Will humans and aliens do better in the future? Hana was quiet for a moment before answering. I think we're trying. That's all we can do. Learn from our mistakes and try to do better. A group of alien children ran past them, laughing and playing. One of them was using a small toy version of an Earth ship, pretending to save the others from an imaginary threat. Look at them, Hana said. They're already telling the story. Humans as the wise protectors who stopped the bad technology. That's not exactly how it happened, June said with a smile. No, but stories matter. They shape how people see each other. As the day ended, June and Hana walked back to the docking area where their ships waited. They stood at the large viewing window one last time looking at the stars. What will you do now? Hana asked. Really retire this time? June shook his head. I don't think I can. Not after everything that's happened. I'm going to accept that advisor position. Someone needs to help make sure this doesn't happen again. And tell the story of how it happened the first time, Hana added. Yes, June agreed. Because the most important lesson isn't about Suho or Tai Yang. It's about the responsibility that comes with technology. We can build amazing things, but we need wisdom to use them well. As they said goodbye, June felt something he hadn't expected. Hope. For 30 years, humans had wondered if they really belonged in the galactic community. Now they knew they did, not just because of their technology, but because of the hard lessons they had learned from their own history. Humanity had found its place among the stars. Not as conquerors or saviors, but as friends who understood that the greatest power wasn't in machines or weapons. It was in knowing when not to use them. As his ship pulled away from the station, June looked back at the construction project one more time. Maybe that was humanity's real gift to the galaxy, not their technology but their hard-won wisdom. And that was something to be proud of.